Okay, so here there is another topic, and we are going to discuss some best practices to write an essay with the help of this new topic here. This is a very unique topic because it is quite, I would say, regional in its tone and scope. So it says in some areas of the US, a curfew is imposed in which teenagers are not allowed out of doors after a particular time in the night unless they are accompanied by an adult. What is your opinion about this? Now, what makes this essay unique is the fact that it is very regional in its approach. It's like it's not a problem which is universal, and this kind of provision is just limited to US and that too in some states. So it says in some areas of US, a curfew is imposed in which teenagers are not allowed out of doors after a particular time in the night. So the teenagers are not allowed out of their places unless they are accompanied by an adult, which means if you are a teenager and if you want to go out, you will have to have an adult accompanying you if you are going in the evening. So is this a good thing or a bad thing? So what the stance which I have taken in this essay again is I'm trying to speak against it, and we'll go through the essay quickly. And while reading the essay, we'll do a little bit of reverse engineering, trying to understand what was the thought process. Okay, so this is how I reasoned it out. I said that, well, parents cannot accompany them all the time. They cannot be with the kids all the time. So the kids may still get involved in crimes in school, and it is like treating the symptoms and ignoring the disease. So this is not a foolproof way of dealing with the situation. So let's see how this essay is drafted, and we'll see some nuances of writing with the help of this. Teenagers are vulnerable to crimes. Now, this is one good way of telling that they are prone to crimes or vulnerable to crimes. So this is a new word. Whenever you get a new word, please make a note of it in your diary or at a separate place in an Excel. I would rather like you to make a diary itself. Writing with your own hands has a very strong impact. So teenagers are vulnerable to crimes, which means they are prone to crimes. Sometimes they are the victims, and at other times they are the perpetrators. So sometimes they become a victim, which means they get affected by the crime, and at other times they are the perpetrators. Perpetrators are the ones who promote the crime. However, the solution proposed here does not seem to be an effective way of dealing with the problem of teenage crimes. This essay will attempt to point out flaws in the given solution. So the solution proposed here means the solution of imposing curfew, wherein only the youth is allowed to move out only when they are accompanied by some adults. So this solution does not seem to be an effective way of dealing with the problem of teenage crimes. And this essay will attempt to point out flaws. So this is how you can use this structure in many other essays also, that this essay will attempt to point out flaws in the given solution. Okay, so it says the first flaw in the given solution. Instead of flaw, you can also use the word lacuna. So lacuna is a flaw or a gap, Lacuna. In the given solution is that it is not easy to implement. So what is not easy to implement? This solution, that an adult would always accompany a child. This is not an easy solution. So it is not easy to implement, or it is not practicable, you can say. You can also use the word practicable. Practicable means you cannot implement it in the real life. Parents and elders do not have enough time to accompany their children whenever they go out. So it is about having these resources. We do not have parents and elders to go out with the kids all the time. What if there are two siblings who have to go to a personal tuition in the evening at the same time? So, you cannot have both the parents going out. What if there are elderly grandparents or pets at home who cannot be left alone? So, instead of making statements, these are some rhetorical questions. So, this is one way of drawing attention, that you can ask questions. These are called as rhetorical questions, the questions which have an answer in itself, which means we are not asking questions. These questions are actually pointers. towards some flaws in the given solution. In short, the solution proposed here has some inherent flaws. So you can say inherent flaws. Inherent flaws means some flaws by design. So we cannot just implement it blindly. One more point which I want to emphasize here is the use of this structure, which is point, example, and elaboration. So whenever you have to design a paragraph, always use this structure. First of all, make the point. Like for example, the point here is a flaw. As soon as we finish it, we give an example. So here the examples are given in the form of these rhetorical questions where we are asking what if this, what if this. So this what if kind of statements are made, and then we are summing it up. So we are kind of using a sandwich structure. We made a statement, we gave examples, and we closed it or summarized it using the structure in short. So in short, the solution proposed here has some inherent flaws. Now comes the second part or the second paragraph, and here we are talking about the second drawback. The second drawback is that the presence of elders is not a guarantee to stop youth crimes. And we are coming straight to the example here. For example, many children who get into the habit of drug abuse consume drugs at home itself, or drug addiction. In other words, presence of elders is not a foolproof way to correct the ways of teenagers' behavior. Foolproof is idiomatic usage. Foolproof is like a guarantee. So in place of that, we are saying a foolproof way. A better approach would be, so we are suggesting a solution also, but then we are not elaborating it because the question does not ask a solution. It is just asking opinion. So in the case of opinion, we can just touch upon the solution as well. A better approach would be to educate the youth and make them choose the right path by themselves rather than being guarded by elders whenever they go out. So here we have given a little bit of a suggestion from our side that this could be a better way of dealing with the situation rather than the other way around where we are making adults accompany the children all the time they go out. Okay, now the last paragraph. Lastly, it is a, so there is this is the third flaw or the drawback of the given solution. It is a sheer waste of precious time. Sheer waste, just to emphasize, we use this word sheer. Sheer waste of precious time means an unnecessary waste of precious time for the elder members. For example, a parent who accompanies his son or daughter for tuition class ends up means this results into, so we say ends up wasting a lot of valuable time which can be invested in other fruitful activities. Many parents who work till late night or get too tired after coming from home. So this is just a statement that they get very they get very tired. This extra responsibility may be detrimental to their health as they would not get adequate rest. So detrimental to is again an idiom. Detrimental to is like harmful to their health as they would not get adequate rest. Now this is again a very good word for rest, which is used adequate. Adequate is like enough rest. To conclude, the solution proposed here seems to be worse than the problem. I am sure there can be better ways to deal with the problem of youth crimes. So a very precise conclusion where we are criticizing or we are going against the given solution, telling that it's not a good solution, it's worse than the problem. I'm sure there can be better ways. Since they have not asked us to propose ways, we are simply touching upon it, saying that there can be better ways of dealing with the situation. All right, thank you so much. So using these essays as templates, you can start writing your own essays, and this will make your journey of learning very seamless and precise. You would be learning lots of new phrases, structures, how to structure your thoughts, how to write the introduction, body, conclusion, everything would come very easily to you. So this is a very good way of learning. You can take some good samples the way we are doing. Just rewrite these essays. I'm going to write the complete essay there in the notes. So you can rewrite the essay for your own practice. In case you want to get it checked, you're most welcome to contact me and I can help you in every possible way. Thank you so much for watching. All the very best for your exams. Thank you.